Okay, so Akshay, shall we start?
Yes, Satish, you can start.
Okay.
Ashutosh
So
बोलने
good
नहीं आया.
afternoon, everyone. Myself Ashutosh Kumar Pandey, facilitator for Flutter campaign of GDSC BIT Sindri. Welcome you all. On behalf of our esteemed Birla Institute of Technology, I would like to welcome Guru Nanak Dev Engineering College Bidar as they are collaborating with us in this evening. It was a great time for us collaborating with GNDEC Bidar in this campaign. Now,
हाँ
I
बोलो.
would like Akshay Muniyal, the campaign facilitator of Flutter, on behalf of GDSC Bidar, to carry over this session. Over to you, Akshay.
Thank you, Ashutosh. So, I also welcome Abhishek Kotalwar, who is also a volunteer for GDSC GNDEC Bidar. Welcome, Abhishek. So, today's agenda for this session is learning Flutter architecture, types of widgets, how Flutter compiles, Flutter setup and installation, writing our first own Flutter application. So here we already know that we already talked in our first and second session that mobile app development, multi-platform app development. So what it is? So let's take a quick recap. We can make an Android application and iOS application from a similar languages but two different interface. For Android, we will use Java, C hash, Kotlin, and Lua. For iOS, we are using Swift, C, C++, C hash, OCamp, and Lua. But the Flutter uses a single code base and shares a single platform where we can make a multi-platform app development. So now let's start with our Flutter architecture, who is continuing now Abhishek. So over to you, Abhishek.
Thank you, Akshay, for your sweet introduction. I would start with the Flutter architecture. Anybody know about the Flutter architecture?
Say, no problem. If you have some, no, okay. So let's start. Start kare.
No. Okay, let's start with the Flutter architecture. Flutter is actually using something that is called as widget tree. So everything that you see on the app, it is considered as a widget. Now the other elements that go along with the widget, like the menu section and the select section, the different buttons, the drop down menu, all of them also form widgets. So basically, what you get in the end is the widget tree. Now the main app will be the parent widget for everything else. Then it responds different children, and these children can be of different types of widgets. And we will get to that later. But for now, all you have to understand is that whenever app is made using Flatel, it is basically a collection of widgets, and it looks something like this, which is basically called the widget tree. The moving forward, one might think that widgets are not exactly the best way to go around and using for the design layout or for design performance. Well, Google actually disagrees with that. They have also given you way to actually embrace platform differences using the widget tree. So when I mean platform differences, I mean the difference is that lay in iOS and Android. Both now, well, apps might perform the same way and act the same way on both the platform. How do you actually interact with the hardware services like the Blue to the speakers? Everything is completely different. So you have different APIs that are called and handled for the different services. And the best part about the Flutter architecture is that it has those less column blank spaces in the framework. So that you can give them yourself, and you can develop and have an app that has complete control over the application and its behavior, or regardless if it runs on Android and iOS too. Now let's take a look at a different type of widgets that we have. So first of all, Flutter has two types of widgets. The first one is called stateful widget, and the second one is called stateless widgets. So whenever you are making an app, you aren't going to be using a combination of stateful and stateless widgets. These are the two types of widgets, and they form the majority
of the
of the
UI
UI
elements,
elements,
just like
just like
search bars,
search bars, button,
invisible
boxes,
and
and
boxes.
boxes.
For
For
layout
layout
purpose,
purpose,
everything
everything is either or
stateful
stateful widgets
or a
or a
still
search.
So
So let's go
and
see
what
what
exact
these two are
and
and
how
how they are different from each other.
So
So
stateful
stateful
widget
widget is basically
one
that can be changed whenever
the
the
app
app is running.
So
So
it
it has the ability to change dynamically. So this means stateful widgets are mutable
and
and can be drawn multiple times
within
within
its
its lifetime.
So
This
this
could be
something
something
like
like
a
a weather
card
card
now.
now.
A
A weather card actually changes through the day.
If
If
you
you
are
are
using
using
Google
Google
or
or Google on an Android
service
service
called
called Google.
now
Now, which
shows
shows
you
you the weather is
quick draw,
drawn
and
and you can see that it is shown in the card like fashion now.
If
If you are using
this
this
feature
feature every day,
you
you will see
that
that
the
the weather gets updated more often
than
not
show
show how
it
it is possible.
Well,
Well, if you are using
Flutter,
Flutter,
that
that will be a stateful widget because that is changing all the time.
On
On the other hand, stateless widgets are the
complete
complete opposite stateless widgets
are
are immutable ones.
built
Built
time
to draw stateless widgets. You will need to create a new instance of that widget itself. So suppose let's say the card is itself
is a
is a stateless widget because
the
the shape of the card is not really changing while
the
the content is changing.
So
So the content can be
put
put in a nested widgets inside a stateful widget, and that can be I'm sorry. So I mean to say
that
that
when you
are imagining
a
a weather card, the outer card will be a stateless widget.
as the
As the shape of the
widget
widget is not changing,
it
it is
only
only being drawn
once,
once,
while
while the contents of the card
would
will be
in a
in a
invisible
stateful widget inside a
they
they can be
mutable
mutable from the time
to time.
to time.
So
So these
are
are the
two
two kinds of widgets
that
that you get with Flutter,
and
and
there
are these are the type of widgets that you will going to play around with around.
भाई एकदम आराम से बोल, टाइम बहुत जल्दी जल्दी बोल रहा तू.
Okay, now let's take a look into how Flutter code actually compiled into native code. Now, most of the people, when I say that Flutter code actually compiles in the native code, get really confused as to how this is exactly possible. So, well, let's take a look into how Flutter actually compiles. It codes so at the center of all the services you have your Dart code, which is basically makes up your widgets and the code of your software or your program or your application. Whenever you would like to call it is being used by the Dart code or is being used by and being built on the Dart code itself. Aside from that now often the Dart code you have the Flutter API that sits on the Dart code. Now the Flutter API provides you with an ease of development process that lets you create your widget, your stateful widget, your stateless widget, and besides how you are going to shape up the whole UI in much more uniform and systematic fashion. So it is basically utility and widgets. Now this Dart code is then compiled into ARM binaries, which is both understood by iOS and Android. So basically, you are not going down and using a specific up and down compiler to get different code for different system. What you do is basically just compile them into ARM binaries, which is understood by both the platform. And this is done the Flutter SDK. So this allows you to actually write Dart code that can run on both iOS and Android. And as we have already discussed, the
Flutter
or
or
a
framework
framework
gives you
gives you
enough
enough
flexibility
flexibility
to
to
actually
actually
buckle
buckle
all
all
sorts
sorts
of
of
changes.
changes.
This
This
might be
might be
where you
where
have
you know
both
both
platforms. So
platforms. So
now
now
is
is
all
all
about
about
Flutter
Flutter
and what
and what
it
it
is
is
and
and
why
why
you
you
should
should
learn it
learn
now.
it now.
Let's
Let's
go
go
ahead
ahead
and
and
take a
take
look
a
at
look
how
at
you
how you
can
can
install
install
Flutter on
Flutter
your
on
own
your own
system.
system.
Over to you,
Over to you,
Akshay.
Akshay.
Thank you, Abhishek. So now let's continue with what you will learn. So here in this session, how to write a Flutter app that looks natural on iOS, Android, and the web application. Basic structure of Flutter application, finding and using packages to extend functionality, using hot reload or hot restart for a quicker development cycle, how to implement a stateful switch. Okay, of course, we are learning about stateless switch also. So now let's talk. In these days, we have talked about multi-platform development, that is Android, iOS, Mac OS, Windows, also a web application. But there is one other application which is very underrated, that is embedded chips. Yes, the Flutter is also made for embedded chips because the Flutter has a layered architecture. Flutter provides a clean interface for a custom embedded that can provide Flutter apps on new hardware and operating systems, as well as a portable code. Since that is a portable, Flutter can use the same rendering stack no matter which embedded springs it up. Maximum code rescues. And Flutter will also work with native application, native codes. So Flutter's platform channel can put a single DAT interface on a native code for mobile, web, desktop, or your embedded platforms also. So now let's try to code in embedded chips in the next session. But for now, let's try to run an app in our desktop itself. One second, guys. Can everybody see my dev screen?
Yes, Akshay.
No, the PPT is still presenting. I don't
चाहिए
see any
लेट करना
devs
फिर.
here.
One sec. Now,
Yes, Akshay, it is visible.
okay, then let's get started. So let's get started by the installation and setup of Flutter editor, whichever you want. So now exactly I am using an editor of VS Code as well as Android Studio. Both has its own importance. It doesn't matter which interface or which editor you are using. It totally doesn't matter. So now we can install Flutter in Windows as well as MacBook, Linux, and Chrome OS. So now mine is Windows, that I am going for Windows. So now here are the system requirements for you. So installation for that. So installation and run Flutter. For running the Flutter, your development environment must be meeting these minimum requirements, that is operating systems, that must be higher and uh, more than Windows 7 SP1 or later. That is, of course, it is 64-bit only. 32-bit can't support. For supporting the 32-bit, we have a separate link that I will be sending in the chat box below. So now the disk space should be 1.64 GB, which is not included for IDE or tools. The tools have separate SDKs and separate memory base also. Now the tools. Flutter depends on these tools being available in your environment. Windows PowerShell 5.0 or user. So now Git for Windows. So this I don't think Git for Windows will be required because Git is already pre-installed in our Windows. So you can neglect this sentence. So now getting the Flutter SDK. You can download the following installation bundle to get the latest stable release of the Flutter SDK. For the other reasons, for example, if you are downloading this zipper file, you need to extract all the elements, all the SDKs, all the tools outside the folder. So if you don't want to install this fixed version or installation bundle, you can skip the session step 1 and step 2, that is downloading the zipper file and extracting them. Instead, you can use the source code from this Flutter repository on GitHub and change branches or tags as you need it. For example, this is a source code. This is a source code. For this, if you are copying this and pasting in your command prompt, it doesn't work because you have to create a folder called src. So let's see here. See, this is a src folder which you have to be creating in the C drive. See, this is a Flutter, and these are the tools which I have extracted. So I didn't extract, I already used my own tags, own tools which I have needed for Flutter. I used my packages which I have imported that we are going to see in few minutes. So this is a src folder. After creating the folder, go into the command prompt and just come out of the folders which you are in, directories which you are in. So here C folder, you can create a directory called mkdir by the command mkdir and src. So already I have created a directory called src, so I am not creating here. Just for the sake of the reason, I have showed this. So after this, so let's create Akshay, Prabhakar. So after this, just go into the Prabhakar fold directory. Just copy the code here. Copy the code from here. Paste here. It will not work because here the code is src, but we have used the Prabhakar instead. So that's why it is not working the total downloadation. It will be showing the error. So let's move on. So update your path. After this installation, we should update your path. If you wish to run the Flutter command in the regular Windows console, we should take a few steps to add a path environmental variable. From the start status bar, enter environmental variable for your account. From here, go into environment variables, click on the path. If the path is already a Flutter bin, then it's okay. If there is not, if the path is not updated, then tap a new one. Just go into your src folder, just go into bin, just copy this path, and you can paste here by saying a new path. So I already have path, that's why I'm not pasting here. Afterwards, just restart your environmental variables and check in the command prompt it is working or not. So let's check by the command flutter. Yes, it is working. So now we have installed a Flutter SDK as well as an editor. No, editor अभी नहीं किया ना, अभी देखेंगे. So now let's update and set up our Android Studio. You can also set up the editor called VS Code also. So setting up your Android Studio. Download and install Android Studio by directly searching Google, download Android Studio. This is a website where you can download the Android Studio. You can download the Android Studio from here. So what it does basically, starting Android Studio and going to the Android Studio with this installs the latest Android SDK command line toolups, and Android SDK build tools, which are required by Flutter when developing for Android. So after installation of Android Studio or VS Code, let's try to run a doctor. So if we are ill or if we are impatient, if we are sick, we will go to doctor. So doctor will be consulting us. हाँ भाई आपको ये हुआ है, आपको गोली लेनी चाहिए, ये हुआ है. So same with the flutter, we will ask doctor. So क्या है भाई, सब कुछ हमारे पास क्लियर है क्या नहीं. So let's ask doctor by command flutter doctor. See, the doctor summary is saying, yes, I have Flutter channel stable of the new version. I have Chrome, I have Visual Studio, I have Android Studio of version 2001.1. I have VS Code also. I have connected device that is available of 3 and HTTPS host. Now, Android toolchain, it is showing a one issue called Android toolchain because in my system there is a emulator which is done half of its path. Because of this net problem, one emulator is of 6 GB. So we don't want emulator here because we are running on our Windows or web application. We don't want any emulator here. So I can negligible this. So if you people are getting issue in Android tool app, just neglect it, no problem. So let's go ahead. See, this is a documentation for Android emulator. If you people want, you can just go through it. And the documentation link will be sent in the chat box below or in the updates group after the session. So now let's directly go to writing our first app. So this is a guide for creating first Flutter app. If you are familiar with object-oriented coding and basic programming concepts such as variables, loops, and conditions, which we have completed in our second session. You can complete this tutorial now also by going from our YouTube channel. You can see our second session. So you don't need previous experience with Dart or mobile, desktop, or web programming applications. You can directly start as a beginner. So what you will build here? What you will build? You will implement a simple app that generates purpose names for a startup company. The user can select and unselect names, saving the best one. The code Lazils generates 10 names at a time. As the user scrolls, more names are generated. There are no limit how far you can use a scroll. So now scrolling the app is a bit complicated. Let's start by building our own application from the scratch. So now let's open the command prompt and create a directory. So I want the directory location to be in a desktop. So we can do it by CD, that stands for change directory. And in Akshay Munigal, there is a folder Akshay Munigal, there is a desktop. So capital D. So we have the directory location is set to desktop, and I want the demo application to be generated on the desktop itself by the Flutter. So the command for generating a own simple demo application is flutter create demo. Or you can use my first app. It may take some time. Multiple output directory specified, so error. So let's try demo only. It's creating demo project 1, running Flutter project 1. So now the application is created. So moving into the demo 1 application, we need other command same as change directory demo 1. So now we are in the demo 1. For running this application, now we can use the editor. We are coming and using the editor. Now we can exit it. So directory is successfully made. The demo application is successfully made. Now let's use the editor called Android Studio. Let's open Android Studio. Here in the from file, we can open the new folder which we have created, that is demo 1. This is demo already created by me, and this is demo 1 which is created by you people for you people. So I want to open it in a new window. So here the import packages or what else is created here. So now if we want to run Flutter application, for example, this is the code which is written by Flutter, and the comments are so beautiful that we can understand easily. That's why the comments had been written. So now going to the terminal from the Android Studio, the directory is directly located to the demo one because the folder is opening in the demo one. So now for running this, we have a command flutter run. See, multiple devices found. Already when the command was run for the Flutter doctor said you have 3 availability devices. So now the 3 availability devices are Windows, that is desktop version, Chrome, that is web application, and Edge is nothing but Microsoft Edge, which is also a web application. So please choose one or Q to quit. So I am choosing the web application, that is 3 Microsoft Edge
That's a web browser.
web browser. Thank you, Prabhakar, for correcting me. Usually it takes more than 1 minute, but it is very fast here, very quick here. So here the Flutter is created a demo application by itself, which you can see here. So now it is saying Flutter demo homepage, which is called an app bar. Here this is a browser, and in the browser we have used a widget called scaffold widget. So let's try this application writing from scratch. So let's exit this by pressing Q. So application finished. So in the editor, select all. Let's delete it. Yes. Anybody wants to say something? Okay, then let's write our own application by importing. First of all, we have to import a file called package by Flutter main dart. After this, void main, run app. I'm keeping the class name. We have to create a class called my app. So I am keeping the name as my app itself for now. So now it's time to create a class. Now what is class, what is override, what is scaffold? You people just don't ask. You people, I am not saying don't ask the questions. Yes, it's your right to ask the questions. Just you people start exploring. You will know what is class, what is override, what is widget, what is scaffold, how many types of widget, what is stainless, what is stainful, everything. So now क्या अनम्यूट हुआ क्या? Class my application, which we are creating now, extends. Now, as Abhishek said, stateless widgets and stateful widgets. The difference between stateless and stateful we are coming to know here next. Whether it override. Now here build context is very important, because if we are not giving the command called build, the app will not build. It will take it as text or as garbage value. It will give us a garbage value. Let's see how it is going. So here let's return something that is called a material app. We are returning here. In the material app, we have three things. One is title, one is theme, one is home. So for example, now let's take a title which we are saying to the editor, saying to the editor or a developer which we want. That is title. We can say my first app, or you can say demo app, demo application. Now after the title, we will add a home page. As I said, in the home page there is a widget called scan for. For example, when you are opening the any application or browser, for example, we will take a browser. When we are opening the browser, there is nothing. There will be a blank thing. Just imagine there will be a blank thing except the browser's outline. So in the browser, we have to create a widget that is scaffold. SC scaffold. This scaffold widget help us to make a outline of a rectangle, square, what is the size maybe. So this is only for outline. In the outline, we are creating a widget called app bar. In the app bar, again we are using the function called app bar. The difference between that app bar, that is not a function, that is a widget, and the difference between capital app bar, that is a function. In the app bar, we want to give a title. The title is in the form of text. So I want to give the title is my first app. See, now let's run this program and we'll learn what we have did. First we will save. We will open the terminal. Directly the location is directed to demo 1 page. Now the command is flutter run. We will run our application and see what we have did. Again, I am opening through Microsoft Edge only. It is showing an error that is expected a statement end. Where the statement end is expected, that is material data. This is very important, the blunder mistake which every developer as well as me who is making here. Let's wait for the connection debugging. After that we will run again. See, here when we opened the Microsoft Edge, there was nothing. There was a blank. When we have used the scaffold, there we have created a widget which is in backend, that is these 4-line borders. So we have created a 4-line border which is by the command scaffold. In the scaffold, you can see here. In the scaffold, we have used the widget app bar, which is also called and nested widget. विज के अंदर एक विजेट के अंदर दूसरा विजेट रहता है उसको बोलते हैं नेस्टेड. एक लिस्ट के अंदर दूसरा लिस्ट रहता है उसको बोलते हैं नेस्टेड लिस्ट. ऐसे ही एक विच के अंदर दूसरा विच रहता है उसको बोलते हैं नेस्टेड विच. सो इन स्कैफोल्ड वी हैव यूज्ड द विच कॉल्ड ऐप बार. This is also one of the type widget and app bar. We have used the app bar function. Both are different. Widget and function both are different. In the app bar function, we have used the title, which is text, my first application, and the perfectly my first application is executed. Now here, this is called in the scaffold. This is app bar. Below the app bar, it is called body. So after the app bar, let's create a body. in the body there are many alignments, that is left alignment, right alignment, center alignment, etc. So we are going for the center alignment itself for the starting. So center, in the center alignment we will keep a child, and difference between child and children you will get to know just you people start exploring. In the child we want a text to be present, so that is text hello world. So now here it's showing an error because the center is a constant thing. So compiler corrects itself and shows you the errors. So let's keep a body constant center because we are not changing it, or now rather we are not pressing a button, we are not keeping a floating app itself. So now if we want to change, so if we have changed the editor, now we have changed something in editor, we don't need to restart and rerun our Flutter application because we have a feature in Flutter for hot reload or hot restart. If I am pressing the small r, the system will get hot restart. See the performing hot restart and the execution time is this much. If I am pressing the capital R, this is hot reload. This is hot reload. So now hello world. So you don't have to be closing the app again, you have to restarting the app. That is what the Flutter is famous for. This is called a productivity. In our first session we have used the word called productivity, which is used by Flutter developers already. So what is this productivity? A question was asked in the chat box. The productivity is this thing. You don't need to close the app, you directly execute the while the app is open and perform the hot reload and hot restart. So that's it for today's session. Now let's start executing more. Let's start exploring more here. So now I want to import a package. I want to import a package. So I am going in my demo1 folder. I am opening this pubspec, which is YAML file. In the YAML file, I am importing the package called English words. Before this, let me show you how the package are imported. There is a website called pubdev that is Dart packages. Yes, of course, it is not a Flutter package, it is a Dart packages. And in Dart packages, there is a version of Swift iOS which are converted, and the packages are also available from the Python, from the Swift, from the C hash, OCaml also. So now here we are importing a package called English words. Let's see. Here dependencies. In the dependencies list, we are importing English words of the version 4.0.0. This is very important. If you are using the old version, which is 3.1.6, it is not working. It will be not be working. So English word is 4.0.0. After this, just we will save it and close the editor. Again, come to Android Studio. Now it is showing pub has been edited, pubspec has been edited. So get dependencies. Congratulations, we have got the dependencies. Now the message is process finished with exit code. One sec. Now what we have imported and where we are using this. Chalo. So here under the return material app, we are adding a new line. We are adding a new line that is wait one sec. Before adding a new import file, we will use a final word pair, that is after the build context. Here final word pair. This is the end of the statement. Yes, the final word pair has end of the statement. Now we have added this line. We will replace our hello world text which is there in the child of body, by word pair dot as Pascal case. Let's see this changes what it will be making. So we are not giving a text by our own, we are not giving a text by our input, so that's why we don't need this semicolon and we only need word pair dot as Pascal case. Now let's try to execute it. It is showing some error. W. Okay. The body center is constant. We should remove this constant. Now the error is removed. So let's talk about this constant. If I am keeping this body center constant, so that represents it will be constant, it will not be changed. If I am giving a text called Akshay or something, my first app or something else, so it will be constant, it is not changing. So when I remove the constant, so let's see what it will be happening. So hot restart is performed. Now let's open a Microsoft agency. Top Corp. It is a new word which I didn't use. The word came from English word packages which have more than 5,000 English word in the Flutter app, in the Flutter import package, in the Dart import package. So let's again reload this and see the top corp changes to which word. The top corp changes to chart note. So whenever I am performing the hot reload, it is directly changing the words which have been used in the English package word. So in the above, the original code has been replaced. The new application will be present in the new random word each time it is run. So in the next section, run the updated version of this code by removing something, by creating a new state. So it is quite complicated. So I recommend you people to just explore and practice these kind of things by making new app bars. So the app bar is vertical. The app bar must be uh, horizontal as well, and the alignments are different. So let me show you the alignment that is center. Let me show the different types of alignments. See, border all, edge insist, and there are hundreds of alignment here. Alignment geometry, alignment dictionary, alignment directional, alignment twin. So just explore it what it is. ऐसा खोलो, देखो, दबा के देखो, अगर एरर आया तो ठीक है, वरना देखो क्या है. So that's it for today's session, guys. If you have any doubts, you can ask.
Also, this is not the end. I mean, we will be having some networking session for some time.
Sure. So, anybody having some doubt? If you are uncomfortable to talk, you can directly post in the chat box. So Prabhakar, what are dependencies? So see, dependencies are अभी हमको मतलब ये जो हम लोग कोड लिखे ना, किसके ऊपर डिपेंड है? हम लोग इंपोर्ट पैक करते हैं ना, तो अभी जो हम लोग रैंडम वर्ड सेलेक्ट किए वो है इंग्लिश वर्ड्स. वो पैकेज जो है ना, उसके ऊपर ये डिपेंड है बोल के बताते हैं. दैट इज कॉल्ड एज डिपेंडेंसीज. दैट्स इट. Simple language. That's it. You can add the packages there. You can add the packages there. Further, any questions? Anyone? Okay, now let me announce the tasks. So there is a task for everyone. I think you will get some goodies if you complete the task and impress our lead. So I am posting the 2 to 3 links there. There is a app source code where you have to be editing, where you have to editing by your own thing, and the changes must be seen. ये ऐसा नहीं है कि भाई green को yellow कर दिया, yellow को pink कर दिया. The changes must be seen and explained it in our offline session whenever it is conducted, and those people can win the swags. Prabhakar, we can do that, na?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, then let's end this meeting here. Thank you, everyone.
Akshay, 1 second, Akshay.
Yeah.
Also, I think this meet is ended for this particular session, but for the people who are from Guru Nanak Dev Engineering College, they were also interested to be a core team member, right? So we are having we'll continue this session, to move further regarding the core team members. So anyone who is interested and present in this meeting can just unmute yourself and speak up about what interests you to be a
I'm
part of
interested because
GDSC and things like that.
technical world. I want to
Prabhakar,
learn
what we
something
can
new.
do is, I think we can
I
have
love
another
technical
meeting
world.
for that, and let's end this call.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am making a meet call for our college. So thank you all. I think.
So
Thank
thank
you
you
all
for
for-
BIT
yeah.
Sindri students who have supported us very much. So this is our last Flutter session. But if you people want to learn Dart and Flutter so deeply and more complicatedly, just contact your facilitator Ashutosh and we will arrange another collaboration meeting. No problem. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. I think Sneha, please end the whole call. Thank you everyone for joining.